understand.
Yeah.
Mostly I'm trying to understand how we're doing, you know, how we're feeling. And I don't know until I really get into conversation with you, and it really was important as we were looking at this issue to really start with the people first. Because there's all kinds of folks in offices and all kinds of people making deals and all, you know, that we can put our energy to. But first I wanted to start here because I don't, when I say, well, I don't know, like, I didn't come with an agenda, but I do know why I'm here. I'm here because I love you. I love my sisters, and I love my people, and I love my culture, and I think love is gangster. I do. I think love is more gangster than violence. I think that something has to be happening to us. You know, something has to be happening to us as a result. This is really what the gist of this conversation is about. Like, what is happening to us as a result of our ingesting these really vicious, violent, relentless images of women of color on TV or in media, and particularly TV, because it's a glamorous space. Let's be real. Like, it's TV, you know. And we have been waiting for so long for groups of sisters to be on television in any way. And then what is so complicated is that here we are, but here we are, right? That part of what, you know, I've been really looking at and interrogating is that, you know, if there are more than 2 or 3 sisters on television together, they're in conflict. And not just drama, like violent. And be clear that that's really what I want to focus on, is how emotionally and physically violent this is. This is not about policing black girl behavior. Let's that also be clear. I'm not like everybody needs to just go to church and be pious, and we're not allowed to be angry or loud or turned up. I believe all that is true. I believe that we should be as full and expressive and complicated as we really are. But what I'm talking about is watching us spit and hit and humiliate and degrade and hurt each other over it's going to be hard for me not to curse. I'm just going to have to say that. I'm going to try. I know there are little ones in the house, but I said I was trying to be honest. But it's violent. And it's only us being that violent, right? Because everyone says, well, you know, white girls are fighting, you know, Bad Girls Club and Real Housewives. The Real Housewives in LA, you know, it's like, oh, she's a bee, she's a bee, she's a bee, and then they sue. I'm not watching all the shows, except for Mob Wives, because Drita could eat all Love and Hip Hop for lunch. For real, but she's gangster for real. Like, I've seen that thing go over her eyes, and she shuts out, she starts swinging, she's crazy. But girls that look like Drita have 30,000 other images of them, so they don't invest in Drita as how to be. Yeah. And they don't go to Italy and someone thinks, oh, you act like Drita because you're an Italian girl. But you say you're from Atlanta and you go to Italy on a scholarship or a little holiday, or you skipping in Cabo or whatever, you say you're from Atlanta, they think you're that girl. So it's not a fair comparison to say, oh, you know, white girls wild out too. They do not go with as much violence as we do. And they have all these other narratives, right? They get to be fairies and wolves fall in love with them, and you know, all these other narratives in which to like change. We don't get, like, I'm a huge Scandal fan. Like, Olivia Pope, everything. She's got so much agency, so much power. Her handbags are ridiculous this season. Hair is laid out. Gorgeous house. Olivia Pope is alone. You know, when she had that, like when she got hit in the head, when her man broke up with her after doing his thing at a funeral, she was sitting in the church alone. There were no sisters with her. She don't have no friends.
Good. That's real good.
No, but it's the truth, or even deception.
Yeah.
She's a sister alone, or glee.
Right.
Alone. So if black girls are anywhere that is elevated or glamorous, they're removed from their sisters. Right? So if we are together.
And brothers.
What'd you say? And brothers.
And removed from their brothers too.
Remove from everybody. Remove from relationships. And wait, let me just pause. Like he hollowed out. But why this is a community conversation. This is another thing I want to know in terms of scandal. And I love, like, y'all don't even know how much I love scandal. But why is that brother, that fine brother, the only one not getting it?
Yes.
I just want to say, no, I mean, okay, but like crazy up.
Wait, hold on.
What you say? But Huck is insane. I love Huck. But even Huck can have a relationship. Huck can have a family. Had a family. What is that? So I'm just saying, what is that saying to us? Like, what is that doing to our psyche? What is it saying to us that if we're going to be somewhere safe or elevated, we have to be alone. We have to be there without our sisters, without our brothers, without our family. And if we're together, we're in vicious conflict.
Wow.
For Stevie J. I mean, let's be clear. We are fighting. And look, I got $5 for somebody that can sing a little scrappy tune. Oh, I got it. But what I'm saying is, like, look at what we're fighting over. Like the weirdest, strangest men. I mean, it's not even like it's Common or Christopher Short. Yeah. Or Columbus, sorry. Christopher Columbus. See what happened to my, this is what happened to me. All the names stuff. But, you know, or like even someone like ASAP, like somebody at least interesting looking, right? From New York, but imagine what that might be doing to us. How worthless, right? Like how dispensable we must be if we are willing, so easily willing to fight for nothing, no provocation, not even a Stevie J. We're willing to fight for nothing. And we're fighting, and this is also what, so there's a lot of diabolical things going on. So we're finally on TV, we're finally somewhere, and super glamorous. Like, the girls are dressed. Like, I saw the reunion show, and it was like Hollywood, beautiful shoes, hair is done. They're rented though, those shoes, most of them. But they look like dolls. They are dolls that are savagely violent and hopelessly unhappy. Like when you look at them, they look so twisted and hurt and broken and bitter, and no red bottoms can make that look good. You know what I mean? I'm like, you might as well just go to Aldo Girl and spend $50 and, you know, because it doesn't matter. You can't make that glamorous. So what happens in the relentlessness of it, because it's not just one show, right? In particular, you know, again, launching this conversation in Atlanta was very strategic because everyone realizes that they're mining this area for women. You can be a doctor's wife, you can be a preacher's wife, you can be a journalist. It's like there's no safe place to be a black girl. You can fight. You're a doctor.
Yes, that's crazy.
It is crazy. And so part of what I want to do today, I have more questions. I just want to give some context of what, kind of what I've been thinking about and why this is so palatable to us. Like, why is it so easy for us to exhibit? Why is it so easy for us to consume it? Like over and over again? Because, I will watch. I've just been watching now because of this project, but I was watching before, and at a certain point, I had to stop because it just made me feel bad. Like it wasn't entertaining anymore. It was, two things. I talked to some girlfriends too. You feel either two things, really bad or aggressive. Like you watch a show and you see me arguing with, Stevie J and your man's in the other room and you're like, I'm mad about some shit. You're like, you just, it triggers, because there's a reason for black women to be angry. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if anybody on this planet got something to be mad about, black women. But the fact that we have decided to turn it on each other all the time, that is so much easier for me to fight you than fight whatever got me there. The history and what's so hurtful. I remember I was in that whole Don Imus conversation, and and I was so incensed that he called those champions nappy-headed hoes. Like, I was mad. And then I see what we do to each other. And I talk about my grandmother, and like, they had hoses turned on them. We've been so violently attacked at the hands of